Broadcasting live from the orbiting underground moon base, it's the LRRcast.
What is up, everybody?
Hey.
Hello, it's Cameron.
It's James.
It's Paul.
Sick.
Yeah, we did that intro really well.
I know.
Yeah,
There was no
really smooth.
No lollygagging with weird music, hums, and stuff like that. We're already talking.
Direct to the point.
Yep.
It's a shame we kind of messed it up now with the talking about how we
didn't mess it up. Yeah, that's true.
I think it's important to do a postmortem on that.
I think so too. I think it's important to realize how awesome we are.
Yeah, give ourselves, the recognition that we deserve.
Yeah.
And
I agree. Yes.
So just before we get to Ask Lur, we got a whole bunch of questions here off Twitter.
So many questions.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to quickly talk about some of the recent videos, specifically Sorry to Interrupt, which
video?
Yeah, Sorry to Interrupt.
Yeah, you see what I did there?
You interrupted me.
Yeah.
And so I don't.
I get it.
I don't think there's loading time for Sorry to Interrupt because we shot it.
Well, we were
with a non-full.
Yeah.
crew.
So myself and Graham were actually. So the stinger of that video was me and Graham coming in being like, "Sorry guys, we weren't around. We probably should have checked up on them."
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't actually need to check up on them. The video is perfectly fine. But we were actually away that weekend. We were, I believe, at the Grand Prix in Portland. The weekend you guys
that was a
filmed
community cup
Yeah, that was Community Cup weekend.
because it was just the two of you gone.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, it was just the two of us gone for the GP as well.
And Kathleen was gone that weekend though too.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So this was because of the community cup. You guys were gone.
That's right.
And so I wrote this video knowing that would be the case, but I was actually pretty happy with how it turned out. I spent a lot of time thinking about I like this idea of apologizing for something really insulting before it actually happens, and then it turns out to be something that's not so bad. But now that you're sort of primed for thinking things are going to be insulting happening,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I spent some time trying to think of what it would be. I end up with the Dalmatian puppies. I don't know why I said the Dalmatian thing. That was just something I just was like puppies, and then I wanted a little bit more. So Dalmatian was the first type of puppy I thought of. But I like the idea of the continual interruptions and getting more and more convoluted in sort of explaining what's going on. The actual Cam and Alex switching places thing sort of evolved over the course of writing it. It was initially that wasn't going to be part of the joke, but then it just kind of happened.
Well, I like the idea that the script featured characters that were incidentally named Cameron and Alex.
Yeah. I think that sort of changed a little bit as we were shooting it, in that you guys actually dressed up as each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was originally just going to be they were characters who were incidentally called Cameron and Alex, and then and then everybody ends up switching places and getting confused. And then we added the extra level of confusion that it was like a, Commodore Hustle script or some sort of thing where they were actually playing themselves, sort of. And so it ended up being them actually dressing as each other, which I think turned out quite well. I saw people in the comments were complimenting various people on being able to play both Cameron and Alex. So that turned out very well.
Well, the key to playing a good Cameron, I find, is just to use a lot of big multisyllabic words that you don't understand and can't pronounce. And sighing.
Yeah, so much sign.
That's it. That's the sigh. That's
right
good.
There. You nailed it. You're so good at doing Cam.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
gonna be your thing. People are gonna come up to you at at conventions and stuff.
Do the thing. Do the thing.
Cameron, make it look like you're disappointed in me.
And you'll just stand there and be like, "Wow."
It's withering.
Some people, there's some people made the comment, which I actually makes a lot of sense, that you guys should have popped in actually over the credits instead of in this thing, which I think actually probably would have been a good idea. Like maybe right at the end of the credits, you guys
popped in. Yeah.
But I think it turned out pretty well.
I liked the way it worked. That was very good.
Yeah. And after that, when we did do the iOS 8 video, which sort of came, I think we do have loading time for that, but it's just a quick thing. It basically came out of, we had a couple of, we want to do something about like the new phone or the new iOS.
It started with the predictive texts.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like
we were playing around with the iOS 8 predictive text thing.
Yeah.
And then, so we're like, maybe we could do a video about that or involving that.
Yeah.
And then we're like, well, maybe we could do like a crap shot about it. Like it doesn't
doesn't really carry itself for 3 minutes. So,
and then we started thinking about sort of other silly things, about I forget what the second piece was that came in, something to do, maybe the Siri thing.
Yeah, it was a Siri. It was asking her to
right, because the Siri, the hands-free Siri,
hands-free Hey You Siri thing, yeah.
Which I've heard a really great thing to do is just walk into a room and yell, "Hey Siri, delete all my appointments."
Well, it was awesome because I watched the video at home at my computer, and when I'm at my computer, I have my iPhone plugged in, just sitting there on the computer, and when Paul says, "Hey Siri, what time is it?" my phone triggered the Hey Siri, and it told me what time it was, and I was like, that is awesome.
It's the 30 Rock thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep turning off
or like the Xbox keynote last year, where it kept turning people's Xbox off while they were watching the stream.
Yep.
That actually happened. The same thing happened, except I wasn't watching. I was just listening to the Limited Resources podcast, and I guess a magic card name sounded like "Hey Siri" to Siri.
What? That's
awesome. It started like I heard Siri beep. And then it just started like transcribing what they were saying, but it wasn't turning into commands, so I got all confused.
See, this would make for a great like sketch where it's like, the V for Victory transmissions in World War II, where they were actually sending coded messages over the radio waves disguised as other things. It's just Siri talking to itself using our own.
That would be pretty awesome.
All of our own communication channels.
The funny thing with that video was we shot it. Was that last weekend?
Yeah.
So we shot it last weekend. So it was the day after the iPhone came out? No, this must have been 2 weeks ago now that we filmed this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it would have had to have been 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yes, it was. Yeah.
So it was 2 weeks ago that we filmed it. It was the day after the iPhone 6 came out. And if you're listening, you aren't seeing me hold up my iPhone 6, which I only just got yesterday. Paul also got his iPhone 6 only just yesterday. And the only person within our sort of core group of people who had a phone, who actually managed to get her phone, was Ashley. So we called her down so we could at least have a 6 on set for a couple of the shots.
Yeah, I think we used it for the Siri one.
We used it for the Siri one, and we used it for my scene with Kathleen, where I'm talking about trying to figure out, with the time lapse, trying to figure out who stole my cookies. And it turns out that
we wanted to use it for like the ones where it was like close up.
So we're like, can you please come down? So we managed to at least use a newer iPhone for that. Because I think, of course,
immediately as soon as she came down, we were all like, "That's it, hold it."
Everybody wants to look at the new phone. Yep. So,
but that was part of the reason why it was more about like iOS 8 as opposed to
the new phone.
The new phone. I mean, the new phone doesn't have that many features that are
bigger and thinner.
It's bigger.
It's about all.
I mean, it's got like some camera stuff, but it's like there aren't like features that you can really make fun of in the same way.
No. So those are the videos.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to do Askler?
So yeah, we asked for some questions on the Twitters.
Okay, we have a lot.
Okay.
So let's be efficient and let's try to get through as many of these as possible.
All right.
Not necessarily as quickly as possible, but let's go through these.
All
Foxmar says, in 2015, will all of the current LRL streams continue, or will the schedule be reworked now that you will have more time?
I think the schedule will definitely, like, I imagine the schedule will shift around a little bit.
Yes.
But as far as I know, all the shows that are currently running will still continue.
Yes. Yeah. As of right now, I think all the shows are going to continue. And whether or not they stay at the same time is that's up in the air. But I would expect to still see a Swiftly Tilting Cam at some point during the week. Probably still Wednesday if it works, and if not, then we need to move it. So currently, all those shows will continue.
Yeah.
All right. Super Smash Brothers came out today. Well, Super Smash Brothers 3DS came out today, I believe. I don't know if the Wii U version came out, or did they come out at the same time? I don't know. What characters do you guys tend to play in those series, and why? I've always and will always play Mario.
I haven't played a Smash Brothers game in a long time, but when I did, I was usually a Kirby man.
Yeah.
The last time I played Smash Brothers, I think I tried Link, but that was probably like 6 years ago.
Sweet. Yeah, I don't know why I play Mario, but I always did. Coke or Pepsi? Coke.
Coke, yeah.
Pepsi?
All right. Waffles or pancakes?
Waffles.
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 All right, there we go.
It's like, I think like waffles and pancakes, it's not just a different form of the same stuff.
Yeah.
Like waffles are different.
Yes,
than pancakes.
absolutely they are. Yeah.
And even if they were a different form of the same stuff, waffles still
superior.
Sure. They're cooked evenly on both sides.
Yep.
And they have little holes
for syrup
stuff.
and cool stuff
and
to go on top of it.
They're crispy and cakey.
Exactly.
Yeah. Best thing ever.
All right. If you could share a meal with one fictional character, who would it be and what would you eat? That is a really hard question.
Yeah. One fictional
character. A lot of people. Let's whittle this down and say movie or TV.
Movie or TV?
A movie or TV character. And let's go, movie or TV character. Who and what would you eat? I'm going to just say pizza because it's easy. Like at my house, Friday night, we're just kicking back, eating pizza, drinking some beers. And I'm going to have it with...
Like, there's all sorts of great, like, TV and movie characters that I don't think I would want to share a meal with.
Mm-hmm.
You know? That is a tough one.
Yeah. Could we defer this one until later in the stream?
Sure.
Consider that.
Throw it in the back of your mind. We'll try to remember to come back.
Yeah. Like, Underwood is an awesome character, but I'd be afraid he would hurt me somehow.
Sure. That's fair.
Then again, as for in the depictions in the show, Frank Underwood is always shown to be actually quite amicable while eating.
He's very genteel.
Yeah, he is, absolutely.
I bet he would know where to get some good ribs.
Oh, yeah. Okay, maybe just go to Freddy's and have ribs with Frank Underwood.
Ribs with Frank Underwood.
At Freddy?
And be like surrounded by his like...
I'm okay with this.
While and now, like when he's, the end of the show.
Otherwise,
sure. Spoilers saying what he is at the end of the show. But like the whatever between this and the next season, go hang out. For some reason, Freddy's
is back.
For some reason, Freddy's is back.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Otherwise, my first snap reaction was pizza with Director Coulson. Because I think that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, currently in the show, I don't know. He seems a little high strung.
That's fair, but I think I could relax. We could just chill out and be just calm down, dude. Yeah, it's just one night. We're gonna have some pizza.
You would have all sorts of great pithy one-liners.
Exactly.
Maybe I just want to go out and have coffee or Raktajino with Garrick from DS9.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Ooh, I like that one too.
Yeah. Just be like, I won't ask you anything like but covert. You just seem like a cool guy.
Yeah, let's just go and have scintillating conversation.
All right, next question. Could we have more 2- and 3-person streams, even if the total streams are fewer? They believe single person tends to go silent. I mean, that really is dependent on the game. Yeah. I think, honestly, it's more dependent on the game than it is on the person. I think every one of us is fully capable of maintaining a 3-hour-long stream.
When Graham and I, the two of us were playing Broforce, we didn't talk at all.
Yeah.
Or, no, we didn't interact with the chat. Like, we talked a lot in terms of, oh, no, I died. But we didn't actually talk to the chat at all. It was bad.
What I would love is to get more crossing the streams happening. And it's just, timing and the amount of stuff that we're doing just makes it really hard. Next year, I really want to push to make those happen on a fairly regular basis. So to the earlier question about streams, maybe more. So that would be a lot of fun. Since you live on an island, how well can you all swim?
I can swim pretty well.
I can swim. Like I used to be a really strong swimmer. I don't think that had anything to do with me living on an island, though.
No.
Yeah, like
I don't swim in the ocean.
I got up to like my white level or whatever in Red Cross swimming when I was a kid.
Yeah, I got up to like the level before it switches into like training to be a lifeguard.
Yeah.
And like and for quite a while I did like, lengths and stuff just as exercise. So I think I'm a pretty strong swimmer, but that we are on an island, but we're an island in the Pacific Northwest. We don't swim in the sea.
Not often.
Unless you have like a wetsuit.
Yeah, exactly. Like how long would you go, like you go swimming in the ocean and you either like freeze.
Yep.
But there are some really nice lakes around here though.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, you don't learn to swim in Victoria or anywhere on this island because you think it will help you escape somehow.
No.
If something is causing you to have to swim off this island to safety, you're basically fucked.
Just dead.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I couldn't swim to any of the, Gulf Islands or anything.
If you go further up island, they're a lot closer. But if you had to if you had to jump in from like Oak Bay, like southern tip of Vancouver Island, right down in sort of Victoria, you're not getting far.
No.
For one thing, I don't even know which direction to go, really. But
just go south. The further south you go, the warmer the water gets, I think.
But then you start getting into open water. Like
exactly.
If you stick around the back, you're still on the straight.
You're straight. Yeah, exactly. All right. Oh, God.
It says well, but not well enough. How about that for the answer?
Yeah. A serious, albeit vague question. How do you decide if you think a script idea will work out or not?
I mean, I guess decide whether an idea will work out is usually, for me, it's usually like thinking about, I try not to like do it like fully, trying to sort of figure out how it will actually be shot.
Yeah.
I usually like, I don't have to go as far as to actually like map it out or anything, but just in my mind, if I can sort of imagine how it could be shot, then I'll be like, okay. But, there's no point in writing something that is in no way filmable.
Correct.
That's just a waste of time. So you have to, there's some aspect of that. So if the idea is, a like movie parody that has a giant battle scene, then I'll be like, maybe I'll put that idea on the back burner or come up with some other way to do that same joke.
Yep. All right. Two people here asking sort of favorite kind of role-playing character, what class do you like best, and what alignment fits you the best. I don't do a whole bunch of role-playing, so I've almost exclusively over the years played either a cleric or a ranger.
I always I have a lot of trouble doing the like separating the alignment of my character from my own personal sort of alignment or morals or whatever, that aspect. Like I'm currently in a campaign where we are hobgoblin pirates.
Okay.
And we keep getting into the situations where it's like there's like a where we are fighting these guys in a town and we sort of kill the big guys in charge of the town and we're like, great, we get to free all the slaves in the town and stuff. This is good. And there'll be like a merchant and we're like, hey, let's see what the merchant has. And then we're like, wait a minute, we're pirates. We could just take his stuff.
Yeah.
We're pirates. I keep forgetting that.
That's our thing.
Yeah, it's kind of the sine qua non of piracy. I actually either tend to play rogues who have like, I guess, a chaotic alignment in D&D, because I think they have a very kind of dynamic play style. But for role-playing, I actually prefer things like paladins with a lawful good alignment, because I think that's kind of a fun ethos to explore and a fun morality to explore. Especially because I think it's a lot deeper than people give it credit for. Well, because a lot of people play it as like lawful stupid.
Yes.
Well, it's the bigger, like the biggest and longest game I played of D&D, which is finished about 6 months ago, was like a 3-year long game we played. It was interesting because I was playing a cleric and I started as neutral good. And we're just kind of going along, basically doing whatever, neutral good is the thing where it's basically you can do whatever, you do normal stuff.
Yeah.
You don't be an asshole, but you don't have to do anything particularly interesting. But the weird thing is we were all serpent folk, and who part of their thing is that they don't really consider humans to be sentient.
Right.
Like, they don't consider anybody who can't speak telepathically sentient. It's like, oh, they're like, humans are cool and they're kind of fun to hang out with, but they're not people.
They're not people. Yeah.
And so trying to balance those two parts of like being nice, but also you don't really consider humans people.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're not nice. It just means that they're not people.
Yeah. It's like,
it's like you don't go out of your way to hurt them, but it doesn't matter that much if they.
Yeah, they're like a pet, right?
But then partway through the campaign, due to direct intervention by my god, because I was a cleric, I became lawful good. And it was actually almost a relief. Like I found it actually, like, once I was having a lot of trouble sort of balancing those two things. And once I changed to lawful good, I was like, okay, I can do this. This is just like, this is the way things are.
Right.
This is how you be a good person in the world. If you don't follow these things, you're not a good person, and therefore you are open season, basically, is the, like, the sort of crusade style thing. And that worked out quite a lot better for me.
Like the thing I always found most telling about paladins in D&D was that the first ability you get is detect evil. And I always imagined that was kind of like your god intervening, or like not even your god, because paladins operate on in a setting by setting basis, but you being activated in some way and being given this ability to tell unerringly when someone is evil or when something is evil. And what do you do with that? Right. And obviously a paladin's chosen a militant response to that.
Right. All right. Moving on. Homestar Runner just updated. What do you think about their new #1 jam? Do you guys ever use a fisheye lens? We actually just listened/watched to it about an hour ago.
We get all our news from questions that people ask.
Yeah,
us.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good. It's good to see them back. As for fisheye lens, we've used it in in the rap videos.
Yeah, for 64K rap videos, I think is the only place we've really used
I'm pretty sure that's why the fisheye lens was invented, was for hip hop and rap videos, correct? And skateboarding videos.
Yeah, we've done what you want video.
Yeah.
Right?
The GoPro cameras inherently have a fisheye lens.
Yep.
Almost. I don't know if it's technically a fisheye, but they have a very wide angle lens. And so some of the videos we've shot using GoPros have that look on it. But yeah, it's really the rap star videos are really the only ones that we used it prominently.
All right. Paper or plastic? Paper. I don't know.
Groceries?
I'm assuming groceries.
I usually get plastic because
you're a monster?
No, because I use them for all my garbage cans at home.
Yeah, that's fair.
I bring my own bags.
Ah.
Interesting.
Holier than you.
I mean, I have them. I just always forget them.
Well. I guess Cam's a better person than me.
Yeah. Shocktoberfest or Rocktoberfest? I mean, Rocktoberfest.
Yeah, I think Rocktoberfest.
I don't even know what Shocktoberfest is.
I like rocks.
Yeah.
Shock is usually a high pick, though.
That's true. 2 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. But rock just crushes things.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose it depends on the meta.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Scissors.
Question for Graham, so we'll move past that. Out of the entire group, who should try to become a professional Magic player? None of us.
Who?
I don't know. Like,
wait, it's not, the question isn't who has the best chance. It's who should.
I think probably.
I don't think I have the temperament.
Yeah, it's tricky because like
the kind of focus required to really do it.
Yeah, like I think most of us could absolutely try. I think others would probably be a little bit better than some.
I mean, like I think Jer is probably the most sort of into the kind of competitive aspect of it.
When you stick me in a setting like a Grand Prix or a PTQ or even an F&M or even just like anything that basically isn't Magic during our streams, I get pretty competitive, and I get sort of into it pretty easily. Like I think I could absolutely make a run for it. I don't know if I have the play skill to make that work. I mean, that's something that I could absolutely work on, but I don't know if I could ever necessarily reach. There's a big difference between playing the game professionally and making it to the Pro Tour once, right? I mean, making it to the Pro Tour does not make you a professional Magic player, in my opinion.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
because I could walk down to Yellow Jacket sometime, in the next couple months, play in the PPTQ, win it, which is unlikely, but not
impossible.
Not out of the realm of not impossible, and then move on to a PTQ like the regional PTQs, and maybe somehow I win that. But that doesn't make me a professional. Like, I don't think that makes you a professional Magic player. Right?
I mean, there aren't more than like a dozen professional making a living playing Magic.
There are definitely more than a dozen of them. Absolutely, like
I guess, yeah.
But it is not a profession that I think any single one of them would endorse. They're not like most of these guys. They're making a lot of their money in writing articles, doing videos and stuff like that. Like that contributes to the professional Magic players, income. They're not just making money from. I mean, to be honest, there's not a whole unless you win a Pro Tour and then do very well in a couple of their tournaments. You're not you win a Pro Tour, you make $40,000, which isn't nothing.
Yeah,
but if you win one Pro Tour and then a couple $1,000s throughout the year, you maybe make $45,000 in a year, and
and
that's
you're
not
also having to cover travel expenses.
Sure, and I mean there are Hall of Famers and members of the Pro Tour, the Pro Club or whatever the hell it's called now, where they have the 3 different levels, and they pay for you to come to these tournaments. They pay for you to appear at these tournaments and stuff like that. Those are the kind of people I consider a professional Magic player. And to be honest, I don't think any of us has what it takes to be one of those guys.
I mean, it's also not really what I play the game for.
No, it's not.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I play the game to win, and I play the game because I love it. But I don't play the game to reach those kinds of levels.
I like to combo out.
You can combo out and be a professional Magic player. That's what John Finkel does, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's just all be John Finkel.
Exactly. I guess that's my line.
Okay. If you couldn't do sketch comedy anymore, what genre or style would you be most interested in doing / exploring?
Oh, what other types of videos?
Horror.
I don't know. I've never. It's hard because I've never considered. I don't consider myself a filmmaker. I come and I help, and I help Graham and I help Paul, who I kind of see as the filmmakers of the core group. I don't see you two pursuing drama. I don't see you two pursuing horror. I don't really see. I mean, I think that has everything to do with the fact that for almost 11 years we've been doing nothing but comedy, and we've never even really dabbled in anything else. So maybe it's there, but I just don't know it, right? I
mean, I could see. I mean, there's obviously they're saying if you couldn't do sketch comedy, so obviously there's other ways, and I could see something getting into more dramatic, but still, humorous stuff. The sort of, sort of the Wes Anderson sort of style of kind of, dramatic, but
light,
but lighthearted.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I personally would have a lot of problems doing stuff that wasn't comedy for no other reason other than just that's where my mind goes all the time. Even if I'm writing a script or if I'm writing something that isn't supposed to be comedy, I keep inadvertently adding comedy. I keep going oh, that'll be funny if this happens. Wait, no,
it's not supposed to be.
This is not supposed to be funny. That being said, I mean, there is a lot of crossover, surprisingly, between horror and comedy.
Yep.
And so, I mean, that's an area that I'd be kind of interested to look at some point. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm a comedian right now at this point in my life. That's a weird thing to think. But I don't know. Give me unlimited money and say
I think you're some kind of comedian.
I mean, I don't even think of myself. I think of myself at this point as an entertainer.
Okay.
Yeah, more than
right. Like I don't.
Comedian is always means like stand up.
To me, comedian means stand up. Yeah, and I just think of myself as somebody who feels comfortable in front of a camera, and people tell me I'm funny and entertaining, and I believe them.
Performing monkey
because
really,
they keep showing up.
Is
right.
really who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dancing monkey.
And I have no problem with that. I will continue to dance for you.
It's fun.
Blocktoberfest or Mocktoberfest? What?
Is this a thing?
I don't know, but no, seriously, how excited are you for fall? How excited? I am very excited for fall.
Me too. It's scarf weather again.
Yeah, I am a fall winter kind of guy. Summer, I have no problem with summer. The heat is fine. I don't I'll go wear shorts and t-shirt and stuff like that, but I am so much more comfortable in my own body in the fall.
Spring, fall is where it's at.
Yeah, basically any month other than just summer, and as long as it's not super hot, I don't really care. Also, I love the rain. And that's, I assume, just I'm West Coast born and raised, and I'm used to it, but that isn't necessarily the case for everybody. All right. Given that it is the spookiest of all months, are there any plans for a Halloween special Let's Nope? I actually talked... I called Amnesia for Let's Nope when it got turned into a regular show, and I'd suggested to Alex that we do it on Halloween, because Halloween actually falls on a Friday. That might not work just because we might actually have other plans, just general social engagements on Halloween, not just sitting inside of our office playing video games, and that's fine. So I could see moving it to maybe the Thursday night or the Saturday night and doing it. I'd like to do I think a Halloween-y special Let's Nope is...
It seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Next week, Alex and I will be playing Alien Isolation.
The reviews coming in for that game are insane, aren't they? From what I've seen so far, it's crazy.
I've actually seen some mixed reviews.
Very, very mixed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It seems to be, because of how it's done, there seems to be a lot of sort of, the particular experience of the reviewer. Ars Technica, the reviewer was really, really not that impressed with it. But then other people, somehow just, I guess, how you play the game and how you are sort of expecting to go in can really make a big difference. So I'll be very interested to see what you... But at least we can all agree, better than Colonial Marines.
Yeah, is it coming out on PC?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm excited about the concept, and I want to play it.
Yeah, I definitely want to play it.
I want to stream it more than I want to play it, I think.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it'll be a great stream.
Sweet. Which is better, MTGO or paper?
Does the paper have magic cards on it?
Yeah, I think so. If given the choice, I would rather play on paper. But that being said, Tuesday night, 10:30, I feel like drafting, that's harder to do in paper. It's not as easy to be like, hey, 5 other people or 7 other people, let's go draft magic cards at 10:30 on a work night. Whereas with MitGo, you can just sort of hop on whenever the hell you want and play a game.
Yeah. Also, the nice thing about MitGo is that it sorts your cards for you, and you don't wind up with 400 pounds of draft commons.
Very true.
The best thing is a combination of the two, where you play in the real world, but you use 60 iPhones as your deck to show all the cards.
No, we're not doing that. What are your opinions on ferrets?
They're cool.
Yeah, I have no problem with ferrets.
They're kind of like some snake cat thing.
All right. Pumpkin ale
kind of smelly, though.
Or Oktoberfest? I'm not a big fan of pumpkin-flavored beers. Cam, I know you drink them.
Well, I drink some of them. I don't like the ones that are like, hey, this tastes like pumpkin pie.
Oh, no. God,
yeah.
no.
I like
it's like we took regular beer and put the stuff that's in pumpkin spice latte in it.
Yeah. No, I like ones that are like, because you can use pumpkins as your carbohydrate source, right, for the yeast.
Yeah.
Like Moon Underwater does a really good pumpkin pear beer.
Like
it just has like a little interesting taste to it, and then usually there's a bit of like cinnamon or nutmeg or something, and it's an interesting flavor that I'm fine dealing with for about a month before I get bored of it and want it to go away.
And luckily it does.
Yeah. It's a novelty that I'm comfortable having in my life for a little while.
All right. Mr. Fiend asked a whole crap ton of questions. I'm going to pick one. Is it okay to feed my duck pizza?
No.
All right.
They can't burp.
Yeah. Now that Ian...
Really?
I don't know, actually. I may have made that up.
I think you made that up.
That seems like something...
I have no idea.
I was going to totally believe
Yeah,
you.
I actually would believe that.
True, false.
All right.
Ducks cannot burp.
Featherweight says, now that Ian is in the moon base, can we expect a high % of Horner? You can absolutely expect a higher percentage of Horner. I have no idea what.
It was 0 before.
Yeah, it was literally 0 before, except for like Desert Bus.
Horner.
Yeah. So I would expect more Horner for sure.
Now with 100% more Horner.
Out of any video game series, who are your favorite characters and why? Ugh. That's no, we're not going to do that one. That's a hard question. No more.
I'm just going to say Shodan.
Sure. What is the most unexpected thing you've learned since starting the year of LRR? That's an interesting question. I mean, in terms of technical knowledge, we've learned, I think, a lot from the streaming office.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, before, I mean, you guys did the magic streaming, but I hadn't really done a whole lot of streaming. We had done the like recordings of Let's Plays and stuff, but I hadn't really done a lot of live streaming before the year of LRR.
Yeah.
And so that's been an interesting process, and I found that I quite like enjoying, I quite enjoy interacting with people.
Yeah.
The chat.
I mean, I'm not going to say, I don't think any of us were shocked by the fact that we liked how much we liked streaming.
Yeah.
I think the amount, I think the fact that universally we all actually really love doing it, are excited to be like, awesome, it's Wednesday, my show's on, or awesome, it's Thursday, it's time for my show, or sweet, it's time to stream Magic and stuff. I think that actually kind of surprised me. I didn't think it would grab every single one of us the way it has, and it absolutely has. It's
interesting, especially now as we're sort of coming into it, to sort of comparing the Loading Ready live streaming to Desert Bus or whatever, right? Where it's just like a whole completely different thing.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Where Desert Bus isn't really, it's not really playing a video game at all in the sense of the actual stream.
No.
But yeah, it's that's certainly something that's been that we've learned. Also that there's, it's obviously the big thing we learned from the year of LRR is that the support is there for us to do what we're doing, right? That the fact that there are enough people out there who value what we're doing and think it's worth sponsoring, that they were able to donate to the Kickstarter and have continued to support us, on Twitch and all this kind of stuff is pretty amazing. So it was one of those things where we're like, will this work? We hope so. This is what we hope will happen.
Yep.
But we don't know.
Cam, do you have any opinions on Alt J?
Alt J?
Alt plus J, or however you pronounce that.
I don't know
the band
what that
name.
is.
It's a new band.
Oh,
I guess. I don't know. They play the sing. He has a single on our local sort of modern rock radio station. I've heard it a bunch of times because I drive a lot. It's catchy. It's fun. I haven't listened to the whole album. I've heard it's okay from a couple people, so maybe I'll check it out. And maybe you should too, because it says if Kathleen or Cam is around, be music buffs. You're a terrible buff, Cam. You don't know who that is.
Yeah.
All right.
Well.
I just went 3-1 in a draft. Good enough? Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
You prized.
Good enough.
Good.
Wow, Mr. Fiend, you asked a lot of questions. I'm okay.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I'm okay with the one I picked though. Anybody fans
the duck?
The duck question one. Yeah. There's like 10 others.
Be a warning to you. If you ask a whole ton of questions, James is going to pick the weird one.
Yep. Anybody fans of the BattleTech universe?
I used to play MechWarrior quite a lot.
If so, thoughts on MechWarrior Online?
I heard it's not great. I heard the community is actually quite bad. But then again, I haven't played it. So I know a couple of people who were really into it and bought new gaming machines for it.
Sweet.
Yeah, I don't really.
Yeah, I don't pay attention.
I used to play the Robotech RPG a little bit, but which I believe there was a fair amount of suing back and forth.
Yeah, a little bit. Because they just stole a bunch of designs from Robotech.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck James? I don't know.
10
6?
board feet, 100 board feet,
sure.
1,000 board feet.
Have you considered hiring an exorcist to get rid of the I'm live on Twitch YouTube notification? We turned that off. like a week ago. What happened? Why is it still showing up?
Yeah, I've actually
freaking
just
out.
been encoding those into the videos themselves. So they're actually
troll.
Yeah, it's not a banner that's popping up. That's just part of the video.
We haven't seen.
We are always live.
Yeah.
The signal cannot die.
We haven't seen Kate as much in Loading Ready Run lately. What's she been up to? Working her own sort of personal life.
Yeah.
She has an entire group of her own friends and stuff. So I assume she hangs out with them and stuff like that. She was just recently in a feed dump.
Often you'll see, people come and go, in high density in Loading Ready Run stuff. If they're like, between jobs or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. What do you find to be the most pleasing aspect of streaming and the least pleasing aspect of streaming? Most pleasing aspect of streaming has just been interacting with the chat, having fun with the games that I'm playing.
And yeah, like chat coming up, the sort of, I guess, emergent gameplay opportunities that the chat provides, naming things, silly things, or doing subscriber commercials, or coming up with in-jokes with the chat and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
I kind of enjoy the constant validation of being, encouraged to play video games.
Yeah.
Because I need constant validation in my life. The worst part is having my brutal incompetence exposed it's preserved.
It's the worst part is that just inherently, partially because you're sort of self-conscious because you're doing it in the stream and because you're paying attention to the chat and various other things, that it's always disappointing that you play worse on stream than you do when you're by yourself. You play a game that you're good at. It's like, I have played this game before and I kicked ass at it. And then you play it on the stream and you're like, I am not doing well.
Yeah.
So
making like the repeated stupid mistakes.
Yeah. So that's always a little disappointing. Like, you have this vision in your head how you're going to be like, oh, everyone's going to be blown away about how awesome I do at this game.
Yep.
And then you go, oh, oops.
Yeah.
So, but I've sort of gotten over that at this point. I just, I try not to be too hard on myself for doing poorly or whatever.
Yeah. Another least pleasing aspect of the stream for me, since you guys went through sort of the psychological aspects, being in that room, it can get kind of uncomfortable. And I mean, we have Honeywell, and it's fantastic. And hopefully, moving into October, November, December, it will cool down significantly in that room. I hate streaming with that thing on. I don't know.
Distracting.
It's distracting, and I know it makes the stream sound not as good as it possibly can, and I'm like super into the stream being as perfect as possible, especially when I'm in behind that seat. So there's sometimes in the summer when I was like, okay, I can't do it. I gotta just turn this on. Like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
James, I think the first thing you should try is sitting in the seat, not be behind the seat.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like, all right, time to go spend 3 hours in the box.
Yeah.
Right.
Since there's finally a GP in Wisconsin, do you have any advice for a first-time goer? Have fun. Relax. It's not as scary as you probably have made it out to be. It is a big tournament. It is enforced at a higher level than your F&M, absolutely.
Be careful about being sort of explicit about things that you may have.
But well, I'm sorry, Paul.
Well, just being explicit about things that you may have just sort of, sort of playing cards and taking them back or anything like that, like stuff like that. Just make sure that you're very aware of how you are, where you're placing things and that kind of stuff.
And like MitGo is actually really helpful for that.
Yeah, because it does a very
good job of teaching you about the steps and phases and stuff like that.
But otherwise, just go in, eye of the tiger, eyes on the prize. Remember, you're the guy sitting across from you, the player sitting across from you is the enemy, and the objective is to crush them utterly.
Yeah,
and like if they have to get up and cry after the match, you get to keep their cards. That's in the rules. You can check that.
There's also at least 2 or 3 Tap Concedes podcasts where people have been talking about their GP experiences. So you could go back and listen to those if you want. It should be in the name, like GP Portland or what, the different GPs that we've gone to at different times, because that we talk a lot about not only the GP but other stuff that's going on there.
All right. Is there any technology or website that you refuse to use? Why?
I don't use Twitter, I guess, but I don't know. It's not like I refuse to use it on moral grounds.
Yeah, you just don't really do the social media thing.
Same with like Facebook.
Yeah.
But refuse to use.
There is nothing I have ever refused to use. There are just services and websites that I've never bothered to go to.
Yeah.
I don't think I have ever in my life gone to 4chan, for instance. Ever in my life. I couldn't even, like, I'm sure if you show, like, I'm sure I've seen it, and if you showed me,
I wouldn't even know a 4chan.
Yeah, exactly. But I have never had a desire to go there, and it just hasn't really occurred to me. But it has nothing to do with me flat out refusing to do so. It's just something I've never done. So,
Yo, I refuse
to you. Yo, yeah, okay, that's fair. Fuck yo.
I'm usually game to try things, but I can't remember if there's anything I've ever, like, on principle refused to use.
Yeah. All right, moving along, because we're kind of creeping up here on time. How closely do your personalities and traits in Commodore Hustle mirror yourselves in real life?
They're kind of our Seinfeld selves.
They are absolutely. That is exactly how I would describe it.
It's you take sort of one or two aspects of the personality and kind of amp them up and take it to whatever the logical extreme is. And that seems to work pretty well.
Yeah, you take the personality traits that are most odious and you ramp them up to monster levels. And then you throw everyone together in like a terrarium and you shake it.
Yeah, and because everybody is also horrible, it makes you not look as horrible in comparison.
Yeah.
All right. If you were a soup, what kind of soup would you be?
Gazpacho.
Tomato basil.
This isn't necessarily the kind of soup you like.
Nope. What kind of soup would you be?
I'd probably be like mushroom soup or something. Kind of bland.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
yeah.
Maybe with some like crackers on top. A little interesting.
No, I think I would be gazpacho.
All right. That's a good... I like
weirdly off-putting.
That's a fantastic word, by the way. Love it.
Just weirdly off-putting, and nobody quite knows how to serve it right.
Yeah, exactly not what you were expecting.
Excuse me, my Cameron's cold. Is that how it's supposed to be?
You are free to do anything you want for the day, regardless of cost. What do each of you do?
Pay off my student loans.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Does that work?
Yeah, like... Just
like buy a whole bunch of stuff?
Pay off my mortgage? Can I just deposit, like, can I just sit at a computer and click a button until the day runs down, and every time I click that button, $1 goes into my bank account?
Like cookie clicker, except
yeah,
money.
Cookie clicker, but for money. So whenever I just click, $1 for every click. I have to be the one who clicks it. I can take a break whenever I want. There's no limit to the number of times I click it, as long as I'm using my finger and not automating it in any way. That is what I do.
But like the you are free to go and do anything you want to do. Like just you get a free pass.
You get a free pass.
I don't know.
I mean, it's a day, so you kind of has to be relatively close by, right? Like,
yeah. Or does it involve teleportation?
Let's say not teleportation. Like, I feel like I'd probably like I'd wake up in the morning, I would like take over a restaurant and invite all my friends out for breakfast, and then I'd go on like, I don't know, like a helicopter tour or a seaplane tour of Victoria, and then I'd land and we'd go, and then the same thing, everybody would go out for lunch.
Yeah.
And then in the afternoon, we'd go do something like super expensive, like, I don't know, high tea at the Empress. We'd take over the Empress.
Right.
And then at night, we'd go out for like incredible dinner, and we'd all eat super well, and then we'd go out and we'd have a party somewhere, and then it would just be like this insanely expensive party day for me and like, I don't know, 30 of my closest friends. Like, that's something that you could do in town, no expense, go. But I'm still sticking with my click for $1 thing.
Yeah.
That seems like their best option.
Hey, how about, get me and all my friends, and we go to see Guardians of the Galaxy.
Uh-huh.
but it's not the movie Guardians of the Galaxy. It's all of the actors that were in Guardians of the Galaxy have to recreate it on stage for you.
All right. Yeah, that's fair.
With appropriate special effects as is possible in a stage production.
All right. Last question comes from King Cool. He says, hope I'm not late. You are not? What's your favorite classic song from the 60s or 70s? And then what do you like to put ketchup on? Well, I like to put ketchup on hamburgers.
Macaroni. Cheese.
No,
French
I don't
fries?
actually like to put it on. Yeah, French fries. I like to put ketchup on French fries from restaurants and like if I'm at home. Fast food French fries, in my opinion, do not require ketchup.
Right.
So if I go to like Dairy Queen or Wendy's or something like that, no, I'm not going to eat ketchup because they're just salty sticks of potato. They don't need shitty packaged ketchup as well.
You've just described what a French fry is. A salty stick of potato.
Yeah, but at a restaurant, they're fancier, just salty sticks of potato. They don't actually cake them in as much salt. Like if you go to a pub, you do not get like the salt you do on like a Wendy's or
that's true.
Like I worked at McDonald's. You literally bathe French fries in salt. It was disgusting. That's why I don't eat them anymore. What was the other question?
Favorite song from the 60s
Favorite
or 70s?
song from the 60s or 70s?
I don't know when songs came out.
Battle of Evermore?
That's my problem.
Ooh, Battle of Evermore is good. That's a good song.
I have no idea when certain songs came out, but I don't know. The first thing that comes to my mind is was it the Meatloaf, the I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Isn't that from the 90s?
That is not from the 60s or 70s.
I got nothing then.
I don't that's what the kind of music I grew up with because my dad, grew up in the 60s and 70s, so I listened to a lot of Meatloaf and the Eagles and Led Zeppelin. All of those kinds of bands.
A lot of stuff from the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack, actually.
Or like
that's all like 80s. Guardians of the Galaxy was 80s.
Like, I don't know, put a Wes Anderson soundtrack on shuffle.
Yeah.
And you'll probably get something that I like.
Yeah, that's true. Like I was always a big fan of like I remember like every Sunday morning I would, be jolted awake by my dad blaring the Eagles. And that sort of stuck with me. And like, I instinctively love those songs, but also hate them for what they did to me on those Sunday mornings at like 9 a.m. when I was like, I just want to sleep, you douche.
Yeah. All those... Actually, wait, I know what mine would be. It would be anything off of Hunky Dory.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's all those songs that are like, you don't really know like the name of the song or who did them.
Yeah.
But they're just like deeply embedded in your subconscious, and then like you hear it and you're like, oh, that song.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you're sort of stuck on it for like a week.
Yep.
Or like something by Vangelis, like Alpha.
Sure.
It's a pretty cool song.
Yeah, that's a good song. All right. That was all the questions. I mean, there was a whole lot more from what's his face. I don't remember your name now. But you asked a lot.
Now he knows about the whole duck pizza thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can feel good about knowing that you should not feed your duck pizza.
No, because they can't burp.
Okay, we'll give him one more. Have you seen the new Homestar Runner yet? Yes, we have.
There's a new Homestar Runner?
There's a new Homestar Runner? Jesus.
Shit, we have to go.
Wow.
Yes.
Apparently, just asking our fans for questions is actually a good way to get news.
It is, yeah. Oh, more questions came in. Too late. We're done.
The line must be drawn.
The line is it's here. All right. How are we going to get out of this?
What's our exit strategy?
Do we have a plan? Did you write something? You're the writer.
Yes, I did.
Smash cut to a bleach white skeleton.
There,
oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, I think we'll just have to do the smash cut to a bleach white skeleton.
Done.